A good Wednesday to all of you. It's 11/11/2020. Maraming online promo ngayon sa na 11/11 ha. Dahil 44 days na lang, Pasko na. Ito po si Benji Chiloro. Meron tayong magandang balita sa vaccine ng Pfizer at BioNTech at earnings report ng Century Properties at yung balita sa Dito restructuring, the results of trading, the PSE, all of these here only in the 11/11/20 edition of the stock market today. Bago po ang lahat, basahin po muna natin ang ating reminders at disclaimers. At habang binabasa po natin ito, kung first time yan po dito sa ating channel, ay nag-start po akong magbigay ng daily stock market report noong August. Inaanyayahan ko po kayo na mag-subscribe sa aking channel para palagi po tayong updated sa balita at impormasyon tungkol sa stock market at ang mga active stocks sa merkado. And since early 2000 ay nag-start po akong mag-invest regularly sa UITFs at pagkatapos ay sa stocks. Salamat po at tignan po muna natin ang ating mga balita. First of all, I'd like to share with you this article from Matthew Harper. COVID-19 vaccine from Pfizer and BioNTech is strongly effective. Early data from large trial indicate. So this news was the cause of the surge of the PSE index to more than 5% yesterday. Pfizer and partner BioNTech said Monday that their vaccine against COVID-19 was strongly effective, exceeding expectations with results that are likely to be met with cautious excitement and relief in the face of the global pandemic. The vaccine is first to be tested in the United States to generate large-stage data. The companies said in an early analysis of results showed that individuals who received 2 injections of the vaccine 3 weeks apart experienced more than 90% fewer cases of symptomatic COVID-19 than those who received a placebo. For months, researchers have cautioned that the vaccine might be only 60 or 70% effective. And if you'll read through the paragraph, in keeping with the guidance from the FDA, companies will not file for an emergency use authorization to distribute the vaccine until they reach another milestone, when half of the patients in their study have been observed for any safety issues for at least 2 months following their second dose. Pfizer expects to cross the threshold in the 3rd week of November. So we are just very near to a major breakthrough, and this is indeed good news to everybody, especially for the Philippine economy. So let's take a look at another news. This is from the business world. Century Properties income up 74% on investment gains. Profits of Century Properties Group surged 74% to 571.48 million in the 3rd quarter due to gains from investment properties and non-recurring losses that were recorded in the prior year. In a regulatory filing on Tuesday, the Antonio-led property developer said its revenues in the 3-month period were flat at 3.71 billion, dipping 0.9% from 3.75 billion a year ago. However, it booked a 398.81 million gain, erased last year's 43 million foreign exchange loss, and trimmed interest and finance charges by 38% to lift its bottom line. So that's indeed good news if you have Century Properties. And now let's take a look at what happened to Dito yesterday. There was a trading halt, but at 10 a.m. today, trading resumed. So from the Philstar, Dennis Uy revamps business empire for better access. So Dito is currently undergoing restructuring to efficiently use its assets. Double-based tycoon Dennis Uy is reorganizing his empire to ensure that his capital-intensive telco startup, Dito Telecommunity Corp, has easy access to funds. In a disclosure to the stock exchange on Tuesday, Dito, Uy's listed holding firm that currently has no operating business, said the company would proceed with its plan to fully acquire Udena Communications Media Entertainment Holdings Corp. from its parent Udena Corp. This in turn will give Dito CME indirect interest to Dito Telecommunity, the country's third telco player, where Udena Corp currently holds a 35% stake through its subsidiary Udena CME. Under the approved terms of the transaction, Dito CME will swap 11.2 billion of its shares with Udena Corp at a price of 6 to 6.90 apiece to take over Udena CME. And this was the statement made by CME President, Dito CME President Eric Alberto. He said that this is one step of our plan of realizing Dito CME ownership of Dito Telecom Unity through Udena CME and Dito Holdings Corp. And with this new ownership, this will give the management options to infuse additional capital to Dito Telecom Unity. Okay, so these are our news for the day. Let's take a look on how the index fared. The PSEI ended at 70.2426 or 11.22 points lower than the previous day. So it moved sideways today, possibly because of profit taking. Let's take a look at the summary. 139 companies advanced, 70 declined, while 49 remained unchanged. Total volume was 2.24 billion, valued at 27.77 billion. There was net foreign buying for the second day at 1.99 billion. As for the market indices, the all-share index registered a slight increase of 0.15%, but the other indices ended mixed. The holding companies and the services ended in the red, while the financials, industrials, mining, and properties were on the positive side. The holding companies was 1.63% lower than the previous, but the indices which gained was led by the financials at 1.65%, followed by the mining at 1.29%. Okay, so now let's take a look at the most active stocks. Let's review BDO, BPI, Ali, SM, Dito, MBTC, PHR, MWID, and MAC. By the way, there was trading today with Dito. It started at 10 o'clock and it ended in the red. It ended higher. It opened higher but ended in the red. Anyway, we'll be reviewing Dito later on. Let's take a look now at the first stock, BDO. Okay, BDO ended in the red, 94.30 or 1.2 points lower, but there was net foreign buying in the stock. So if you'll notice, there is the body of the candlestick is very well thin, but there are long wicks from both sides, meaning that the stock opened at higher at 94.80 but ended lower. So it went as high as 98.18 and as low as 92.10. The candlestick yesterday was a bit higher with a long wick also, but this time it looks like there was profit taking in the stock. The RSI is still bullish at 60 or 58.84. Let's see the present support levels. I see the support here, and the nearest resistance would be here. Resistance is at 98.23, while the support is at 91.34. When I say support and resistance, these are not exact prices or points, but these are areas. The stock may move sideways in the meantime without a catalyst, but because there is buying sentiment, it will probably move higher with the news of that vaccine. Well, let's see in the coming days. But for the past few days, video had been opening at a higher price, but it ended at a lower price. Okay, so let's see what will happen to the stock in the next few days. Okay, let's take a look at BPI. BPI ended higher, but the candlestick has a small body. It's a green candlestick though, with volume. So we call this a hammer or a reverse hammer, meaning that the stock opened higher than the previous day and closed a bit higher also. It went as high as 92, but sellers pushed the prices down to 84.35. I wouldn't say this is a breakout because the body of the candlestick is very thin. But let's see where the resistance is. Napakalayo na ng resistance ito. Let's take the 1 week. The nearest resistance is at 91.5. Yeah, that's the nearest resistance. So 91.56 or 90.56 or 90.6. That's the nearest resistance, and then the nearest support, I would say, would be somewhere here. So just like PTO, the body of the candlestick is just very small. But with the buying sentiment we have in the market, it may probably move upwards. As with the other stocks, there was net foreign buying at 105, but let's see what will happen to the stock tomorrow. Anyway, bullish pa rin siya because the RSI is above 60. Let's see if there is in directional movement. Natin is above 30. Yeah, it's 48. So it's the stock is bullish, and it is just but natural for the RSI to be overbought. Now, guys, sometimes I mix up my terms. When I say overbought, the RSI is above 70 or 60, and when I say oversold, the RSI is below 30. Now, sometimes I mix it up, like saying it is above 60, but I say it's oversold, but what my unit is overbought, actually. So yan lang ang maaaring maging movement. It may test the next resistance at 90.55 or 90.60. Next, let's take a look at Ali. Ali also ended in the green with volume, pero small yung kanyang body. Mukhang the stock had profit taking today, but this kind of body, if the candlestick gets shorter and shorter, then it is a sign of weakness. So let's see where the resistance is. Actually, resistance na ito. But let's use the weekly chart. Ang next resistance niya nandito. Nasa 41.20 yung next resistance niya. So maaaring mag-move lang siya within that. But if the body of the candlestick gets narrower and narrower, then probably there might be a sign of reversal soon. So if you take a look at the earnings naman, it's lower, minus 76.67%, but that is expected because of the pandemic, and probably the market has already priced this earnings expectation in. Okay, next let's take a look at SM. SM was the most active yesterday. SM, profit taking si SM. Balik natin sa... So this is a hammer, but it may just move within a support and resistance in the meantime. So nag-profit taking ngayon, pero because of kasi merong buying sentiment ang market eh. So baka nagpahinga lang to. And let's take a look now of the DMI. The DMI is 34, still bullish. So probably this is just consolidating or nag-profit taking lang, pero the stock may move higher in the coming days. In the meantime, I see the support here, the nearest support here at 983.46, and the nearest resistance is here, 1084 or 1090. So I see the stock moving higher in the coming days because there is this buying momentum in the market. Next, let's take a look at Dito. Okay, Dito ended with a red candlestick. It opened higher at 7, but sellers pushed the prices down. Ang tingin ko dito is that Dito may just move sideways unless there's a catalyst. Hopefully, the catalyst would be that they are already set to implement what they have promised as the third telco. So, meantime, I see the resistance here at 560 or the 550 area, and the support, the nearest support is here, 720. So it may just move within this support and resistance. Okay, next let's take a look at MBT. Okay, MBT moved higher today, and this is some sort of a breakout. It's 4.29% higher. So nag-exceed na siya ng kanyang present resistance. Nag-break na niya yung present resistance niya. Settling present resistance nandito. It broke that resistance level, and it may test the next resistance level at mga 52, mga 53. Yan yung next resistance level niya na pwede niyang ma-test. So most of the stocks in the index are up. One of them is MBT, and that's the reason why the financials is also up, because of this stock. Okay, next let's take a look at C. Itong C naman, nag-profit taking din to. So it moved in tandem with Dito, but our indicators are still under that candlestick, indicating a bullish trend. So maaaring nagpahinga lang to, and it may move just within a support and resistance level in the coming days. So the nearest support would be here, and the nearest resistance would be here. So resistance of 6.87, support at 5. Maring dyan lang siya mag-move, although there was net foreign selling today. Then, PHR. PHR moved 15%, but this is this candlestick is still below the hour indicators. So, maring nagko-consolidate lang siya. And if you'll notice, it filled up a gap here. Probably it will just move within a support and resistance also in the coming days. So, nasa 2.08 yung nearest support. But the nearest resistance that I see, nasa 272 yung nearest resistance niya. So, maaaring mag-move lang siya or maaari pa siyang mag-move higher if there is enough volume to do so. Next, let's take a look at MWID. MWID had a, do you call this a breakout? Yes, probably a breakout. There's volume and there is a solid green candlestick here, but with a long wick. Nevertheless, it's 7.53% higher. Then this is a breakout. And this price at 8 is 0.56 points higher. And the highest point was 8.32. Okay, so it may retest. Actually, it's already in resistance level. Let's take a look at the next resistance level of MY. Medyo malayo na, 1073. So medyo malaki ang potential nito, itong stock na ito. It's having problems financially, but it has very good projects. No? So 10.67 is the next resistance level that it should test. And then, let's take a look at MAC, our last stock. By the way, guys, if you have stocks in mind that you wish me to review, please comment on the comment box and I will do my best to review them. Okay, next is MAC and it ended higher at 5.77%. Balik natin sa 1 day. And there is also volume for the 3rd day. So, it may possibly move higher because of the buying sentiment. Tingnan natin yung 1 week review. So, the next resistance level, nasa 8 na ito. 8 na siya. So, 8.79, no? Yung next resistance level ni MAC. Based on the 1 week chart. So, with the airline industry recovering, then MAC will probably move higher. So, yan si MAC. Although there's a gap here, no? Which has to be filled soon. Still, our indicators would say that there is na mag-aano pa to, aakyat ba ito? And then there's net foreign buying at 721. Yan po ang ating stock market report today, Wednesday, November 11, 2020. Keep safe po mga kaibigan. Meron pong paparating na bagyo at maaaring direct hit ang Metro Manila. Ito po si Benji Chodoro, laging nagpapaalala, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. See you again in our next episode at maraming salamat sa inyong pagtangkilik. Bye for now.